G'day and welcome to
Sorry.
my daughter. She thinks she's funny. And she's still laughing. So, you still there?
Yep.
Damn. Right, so this isn't really part 28. I'm going to call it a Fairlane update. Half of the video's on the Fairlane, what we've achieved with it. Headlining's all in, interior lights in, all that sort of stuff. The next stage with that, I've got to put the door on, and then carpeting and all those trims, which I've got to repaint some or get the what do you call it? Get the heat gun onto it, because some of them are a bit chalky, and you can use a heat gun to sort of settle that down and rebond it, if you know what I mean, because UV's just damaged it over the years. So there's that, and then I've had a couple of trips to the other place while this video was kind of being made, and hung a garage door, and I took the Galaxie there too. So there's a bit of a discussion on what's going to go there. Originally the Fairlane, of course, was going up there, but now the Fairlane's going to stay because I've taken the Galaxie up. And yeah, so anyway, look, I hope you enjoy. Just ripping out this last door. It's rusted in a peculiar way. Take all this off and I'll stick some phosphoric on. Hammer and dolly those things down so the armrest is tighter. So need to have a look at the bottom of it because I haven't really had a look inside. It's a bit mucky and dirty. Give it a nice power wash and start working on this. This is the last door, right? If the Galaxie Coupe would have been finished a door ago, but it doesn't matter. They quite often rust out in that frame in there underneath the quarter window, but that's all good. So yeah, it's looking alright. It's untidy, I'm saying better, but you know. It looks a little bit better than the other one, but this side was repainted, so I need to take some of that off to have a look at it. Getting back to business, this is the last door. There is a small rust hole there. I'm just going to drill it out and leave it. It doesn't matter. Got a bit of phosphoric on there. Cleaned up underneath. Let it dry out. Etch, prime, paint, get out of it, you know what I mean? But yeah, happy with that. Well, I've got the back of this door painted. Couple of runs. I just scratched it with my fingernail. It's pretty soft. So I've got the front in primer. This is the final door, and it's pretty good. It had a bit of surface rust inside, which I've used phosphoric acid on. I might brush pour or something in there. I'm not sure. If I had my time again, I would have replaced both back doors as well, but they're not bad. You know, there's nothing really wrong with them. You can see it's sort of scaly in the, what do you call it, drain holes and so forth. I don't know if they're permanent ones, but anyway. I'm going to do the boot with this side, which was suggested, and I've just welded up those holes. So I'll paint that jam, throw the door on, then I'm back at work next Tuesday. And then we'll have to do this. I think I will do it this month. That way, pardon me, buff the car out, get the screens fitted. It's at lock-up, so to speak, and we can just put it back together. Because I don't think I have to buy carpet, and I'm getting the ultra plush stuff that I've got in the XC, but I'll get it in the dark brown. And I've got to paint the trims because they're all chalky, and get a rear Venetian, and then, you know, I've got to take the rear axle out too. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not far off. Right, just got back from the other place. These are the seats from the wagon, and they're pretty knackered. Jason has got a good pair of sedan ones that we're using in the sedan that I got. And I've asked him to give me the covers. He was going to unpick them and use them as patterns, but I mean, hopefully he can get some patterns out of this. But the other ones are in much better condition, so I'll use these bases. I might give them to Sam and get them powder coated. I'm not sure. I'm gonna look at these runners, and you know, put some new bits and pieces on. That's actually not too bad, that one. But this one over here is kind of twisted up and everything, but it might still be alright. I can resurrect that. They're probably actually pretty good. Bit of a lubrication. Oh, hang on, that's all split up. Doesn't matter. You can buy runners anyway. So I'll pull those apart, and I'll use the original foam. I might have to I might have to actually, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge, hey? Yeah, it's a bit knackered. We'll figure something out. Right, now I've finished that engine for now. We'll continue work on this guard. And, well, I've got a can of bog out. I'm just going to fill over those welded up things. I closed the garage quite hard on the boot lid. I just put a couple of scratches in. Just scratched it clear. So obviously we know where paint's sticking. That's all got to be taken back and redone. And I think we'll tackle this headlining today. See if we can do something with that. I'll just lift this off. We've got some seatbelts to put in. We've got some cleaning up to do inside. I've redone. Also, I've brought these up. They're just bits of pinch weld. That again. That's the other side. I'll put that on too. These things, because I'm sick of sticking my hand in that stuff. What was I saying? Yeah, pinch weld, just to hold the headlining up against there. And I think we should be getting the windows soon. I don't remember. I really don't. I've got all the surrounds and everything there. There's the window sitting in the side garden. That has to go on because I keep, yeah. There's a dilemma though. The trims I've got are rubbish. The side trims are good. This one here goes in there, and it just screws on to the screw hole, which I've obviously welded up. But we can drill it again. Yeah, I'm not sure because these go. Is that this side? Yeah, they go in there. They screw in there. I've got to clean those up too. I can't remember what goes there. I don't know. I'll have to try and rack my brain and figure it out. Right, before I do anything, the first thing I need to do, I've got to do the bulb thing I was talking about. I've got to find out if there's constant power down here. I think there is. I'm not sure how the boot release is wired, whether that'll be switched positive because it was earth, that's right. Okay, so that's no good. If I can find some constant power, then I can tap the map lights into that. Alternatively, I have to run the cable forward and down the A into around there somewhere where I'll find some. So I'm just going to hook a battery up and we're good. It's got the battery connected. The ignition's off and I found some power in there or there. There. So I know I can tap into that with that red thing for the map lights, and the existing wire up on the headlining will do for the interior light. Right, so I've dropped the headlining down further, revealing the damage where the interior light was, which of course, let's not forget, was my damage. The other thing is, all these insulation panels have been falling down on top of the headlining. You can see one there. I'm not going to do anything with that. It's supported by that rod or the bow, and that's still stuck over there by the look of it. So I think what I'll do, I'll cut a patch. I've got to stick these up, hopefully without any issue. There's those panels that, I think there's 4. You can see where I tore one off. It was hanging down on every edge, but I don't think that matters too much. I want to have a look at that business over there, but I'm just going to get a patch and I'm going to paint, get a bit of adhesive over there and just see if I can put that together. If there's a small line, I don't care, but if it's really obvious, I'm going to have to pull the whole thing out, and I just don't want to. I bought this a while ago. This is just some vinyl I found on in the back of the Mac, the 2-door one. Where's my? I think it's a gel grip. Oh, whatever. I want this to sit on the surface because if you use a contact adhesive, a liquid one like that, it'll just soak into that, and I don't want it to. So I'm going to use it on the surface. The spray-on stuff is really good for, you know, those sorts of things because it kind of sits on top. Where's my brush? Here's a brush. These are just disposable ones. So I'm just going to paint that around, and I'll do the same, being contact adhesive. I'll do the same on the other surface. And hopefully I can disguise that tear. Did I tell you I did it? Started curling. That was an oversight. I need to get around the other side to have a look at it. The patch is there, and you can see the light coming through it. Hang on. We'll see what it looks like when we sort of start hanging it up again. In the meantime, I think we'll start to sort these panels out and get some adhesive on the roof as well. I was going to stick these two back panels on, and you know, it's not looking bad at all. This panel's delaminated. I got ripped off bad on this stuff too, because the what was I going to say? Damn, which side? This side. I paid like $50. I went to the counter and I couldn't be bothered arguing. Something like $50. He's about to get it from Burson for 17. But that's what I was talking about before, where it just sits on top. I'll just empty the nozzle out, which goes like that. You don't want it to go everywhere because it'll stick to everything. The other one's not delaminated, so that's the only one I had to do that with. You know, as with any contact adhesive, you get one crack at it. This is an odd shape. Damn. Doesn't stuck that well, but right. I'm just gonna. Yeah, what's that white stuff? It's kind of separated. I'm just going to run this around, stick it to the underside of the turret. I don't know why it's white. It must have separated. The other stuff seems to have stuck quite well though, so who knows. Probably should have shaken the can up, eh? Now, I've got bad luck at keeping this stuff stored for any length of time, so I don't care that I'm contaminating it, putting it back, because it'll last today, but normally you wouldn't do that. I'm just going to let that tack off, and we're golden. I'll do the other one while I'm going. Maybe I've left out an ingredient. With the other things, they all stuck up there quite well, eh? This is your new car smell. Everyone loves the new car smell. It's adhesives. New fabrics and adhesives. And vinyl is just basically PVC, which is polyvinyl chloride. So they reckon the new car smell can be a little bit on the toxic side, even though everyone seems to enjoy it. Alright, I'll just let that go off and see how she goes. There's not much left. Should have stirred that up, huh? I'll stick that in a bag for now, just so it doesn't go off too quickly on the brush. So I've got to go all around the perimeter as well. Right, so I've just hung the headlining, and I've been using these cut-off bits of pinch weld. And it doesn't look awful. There's a couple of little bumps and things in it, but there was quite a bit. I'll get up here. See where it's uneven there? That's where the rust was. It was kind of bumpy. Much of that's come out. I've used bulldog clips there because it's a little bit brittle. So I just wanted to clamp it. I don't want to push those things on. And also in here. Now, what this lets me do is get in and have a good look at it. If I like it, then I'll start to glue it and then put these back on. But once you glue it, it's glued. And I don't think it'd survive being pulled off again. The damage, I think, will be alright. I can still set, but I don't think it's a big deal. But that's all straight. Well, I didn't disconnect the front of it. It's actually quite an easy headlining because it doesn't go down the C-pillars. It stops at the top. You've got those plastic things there. So I'm going to get some adhesive and start putting this back on. I think it's the best way. Right, so there we are, all hung up. I'm going to clean in that corner there. And it looks really, really good. It's untidy sort of there, but that plastic trim comes right across and then down over that, what would you call it, that pillar? That's supposed to be the C pillar there, but that could be C because it's, who cares? Yeah, so the only untidy bit is a bit of mottling in it, and there's sort of little, you can feel where the rust was, but I don't mind that. It doesn't bother me one little bit because, not just because it's history, but really because it saved me hundreds of dollars. Put all the grab handles and everything there. I've got to put that light in and wire it. But I'm stoked with that because all the insulation's up. It was easier without a door there too. All the insulation's up, headlining's in. Pinch welds can all go on with the door seals. Not this one because it's not finished, but the other sides. So that's a good bit of work. Well, I stuck that trim on, and put some door seals on. I've still got to, can I get in here? Oh, there we go. You can see underneath a little bit of light escaping. I should probably put a gasket or something behind there, in that back corner. And at the front as well. Hang on, can we see that? And of course, I haven't got the right globe for there. I've only got a small one, so it's casting a shadow. You know, we've got the interior light there. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. So far as the headline is concerned, I'm fairly happy to leave that. Those seals look alright. I think it's fine. I've got to repair this one. But of course, I've got to finish doing this bit here, and then I can put these bits on and all that sort of other stuff. So, you know, it's all looking pretty good. But anyway, that's it for this part of the Fairlane. I've got to organise windows and all this sort of other stuff. But I've since gone to the other place and taken the Galaxie with me. Check this out. I've got that up by myself. It's just sitting on some straps at the top, and it's too wide. I can't fit it in. So they've given us these sort of wood coach bolt things, which are useless. I've just used these sort. But I've got some more of this pole at home, so I've got to bring it out. Neighbours up here are fantastic. They came over when I got it. They saw me getting it up to here, and they came over to help me hang it. But even at the outside of those posts, it's still too narrow. So I've put it with the longer part down, if you know what I mean. I would have thought that was the way it goes. Just because of the pressure on pulling it down. But I've got to come back. I'll come back at Easter time and do it. But that was heavy. It's only 7 kilos. But it was just a bit awkward. So I could pick it up and put it on each rung of the ladders. But the last bits, I couldn't get underneath it. I didn't want to hurt my back. What are you doing? Anyway, slow progress. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm just filming something. I'll be 2 secs.
I was waiting for you.
Oh, I'm coming.
I thought you were coming straight in.
Yeah, I am. I was just packing some stuff up. Right, so a bit of slow progress, pardon me, but it is getting there. And I want to get this done this year if I can, although I've got to get the bottom concreted. So that's a bit pricey, but we'll see how we go for funds. But if I can get that extended, that makes a lot of sort of easier room for the rotisserie, the wagon and the Fairlane. So I went to the other place. Where did I go? I got back the other day and tried to fit the garage door, and they made it too wide, which is a pain. So I'll go at the front and I'll show you what I've done. I've welded 2 offcuts of my brother's carport posts. Each one was like 1200 long. They cut off because I was originally going to put the post in the ground, but they ended up pouring a slab and having the post on plates, if you like, which are dyno bolted down. So he had 4 offcuts of this stuff left, which he was going to put in the scrap metal bin at his work, and I ended up saying, no, give it to me. Didn't know what I was going to use them for, but they're quite thick wall, and they're perfect for what I need. So I've welded them together, there and there, and they're perfect. So I'll weld these to the posts on the outer, what do you call it, the post where the roller door's going, and mount the door onto those. So that'll be good. So that saves me something. You've got to cut those and it's a bit rust. That's off a rubbish pile. I don't even know if I'll use them. So I've got to cut those off too, because it's illegal to tow them around protruding past the trailer. So I've got to get creative with that. So I'm taking my welder up there. I need another roll of wire actually, and I'll leave it up there, I think. I've got another welder here from Grant Wickham, who donated one which had a fan fault in it, but I've got a 240 volt. Had like a 24 volt fan or something, which was thermally controlled. So there's a circuit board in there, it turns the fan on when it needs it, and I'm just putting wiring in on a 240 volt one that just stays on constantly. Because the 24 volt one wasn't cutting in, or 12 volt, I can't remember what it was. It wasn't cutting in when it was supposed to. So 241 will just stay on. So I'll do that, and I've got some footage on that which I've had on my camera for about 6 months when he sent it. And I'll go through that. Cows. Hope that one's alright. Where is he? There. Lots of cows. Heaps of cows. Okay, this is a beautiful Galaxie. It's up here. It's living up here now. Just helps get rid of a bit of stuff around the house. It's a lot of work, this car, but I am not afraid of it at all. I've just got to lift the body off the chassis. It doesn't look bad actually. It's not as bad as it looks. I've got to put the striker thing on it. But it's going to be living up here. I did have some issues starting it the other day, so I just left it. I think the starter motor might be a little bit dodgy. This is a C6 car, so not difficult to get a starter motor for. If I need one, I don't care. So it's going to live up here for a bit. Actually, probably stay up here. It just makes life a bit easier at home. How are we going for coolant? Coolant's really clean in this car. Inside the engine isn't though, and I was amazed because the compressions were all even. Oh, it looks clean because they're covers I put on, but yeah, I put a new water pump on it, so I don't think I'll take that engine out. I'll take all the front clip off. No, I'll probably take the engine out. And did I tell you? I'm going to concrete all this in the spring. Move the wall out and put the cars in there. I think I might have to put a carport up here too. But that would be later. But yep, I've created a lot of room at home. I got rid of those two Mercs and I bought the Galaxie up here. So it's all looking really good. I'm very happy with it. Also picked up these 302 heads. I don't know if Tony's the engine reconditioner that I use, Speedworks. And I don't know if he saw the other video, but he was straight on the phone to me and needed a set of 302 heads, so I gave him the other ones, thinking these were better from what the guy in the ad said. It was an honest mistake, but they're sunk as well. So I might just get them done. Yeah, so it is what it is. But I need them for the wagon's engine. I've got to put a cover on this. I wanted to salvage that antenna. There's always something that holds you up. It's one of those square base ones, although it is pitted and pretty yuck. This car is rough. This car is rough. There's a hole in the floor. That's not hard at all. That's just a patch, you know. Maybe up here as well. I don't know. There'll be places like Summit and that sort of thing that have, probably not Summit, but there'll be somewhere that's got, oh look at the little vent control. That's got sections, and at the moment with the US dollar I wouldn't even try, but when I'm ready to do it, it's going to be champion. I'm going to take that kick trim off, and because I want to salvage it. This is a beautiful car, absolutely lovely car. I don't think it's an overly hard job, but it's a big job. I've got to lift the body off like we did on the Plymouth. And I'll put body mounts in, and I'll also fix up, there's some rust in the subframe underneath. Where's that bit of cardboard? Let's have another look at it, eh? Let's have another look, see what we're up against. Always keep big boxes, they're useful for this sort of thing. Oh. Yeah, there it is there. See there, it's knackered there. But lifting the body up, it might be quite substantial. It might mean a whole plate across the bottom. Now it's got a C6. But yeah, look, it is what it is. Give me a chance to fix it all up, make it look pretty again. What's the other side like? I didn't think the other side was as bad as this. The sills look pretty good. I can't see anything wrong with them, but you know, someone's shot some blue paint over it. But yeah, that looks pretty stuffed actually. It might even be better if there was getting another frame, but I'd sort of almost sooner repair what's there. Okay, this is the driver's side or our passenger side, and it's pretty much the same. The main thing is I want to make sure those torque boxes are solid. If it's just these sort of bits going down here, I'll cut up the side and weld in new metal. I think the rest of it was supposed to be alright. The guy just said it was this bit, and that's all I could see as well at the time. But yeah, I mean that's a crappy part to have to do, but in the scope of it, the rest of it's just patchwork, you know. The main thing is it's got all its stainless. The rear quarter, I think, so it's had a punch in the face because the guard's pretty good, but on this side it looks skewed. It feels, I'm not as familiar with these as I am with Falcons, but the rear quarter looks pretty messed up. Yeah, it is. That's a very poor repair. So that might be a bit of fabrication just in there. That I can fix, I'm not worried about that, but that's pretty messy. Just down in that area. Around the boot's pretty easy. Or at least it doesn't worry me. It's not necessarily easy, but it doesn't worry me. And that side's probably there's filler there. So, you know, that might just be patches. But on the whole, you know, the turret's good. Very, very good. There's nothing wrong with that. These back windows are very hard to get, so I've got to be massively careful taking that out. So, and I'll also, they're factory holes, I don't have to weld those up. Galaxie back windows are very hard to get, so we've got to be careful with that. And I might, before I touch it, order a rear seal from the United States. But I'm very happy with that. That's pretty good. It's a beautiful car. Friends of mine saw it. Oh, he did a war dance around it. He said, oh, you've got to leave it that colour, but I don't want to. I want it springtime yellow. Anyway, we'll take the kick trim off and we'll have a look. These are a lovely car to drive on a hot night. These vents here pull in that much air. I remember on the 66 I had. And the draft was phenomenal. It was beautiful. What was I looking for? Oh, where'd it go? It must be up above there. Is there anything in there? Ooh, that's pretty mouldy. Ugh. Oh, it's the fuses. Never knew that. Yeah, we'll get new liner. Damn, I've got to look at my cars a bit better. I don't even know what that says. I haven't got my other glasses. Oh, maybe because it's the wrong way around, you idiot. I'll try and decipher that. Might leave that out. Take it back home. Some rust up here, rust there. There's a rusty hole I just saw there. So there's a bit of work in it. Down here it all looks alright though, it's sort of in those areas. That'll be a body mount. See if I can get that off with one hand. I think there's supposed to be a body mount in there, but there's not now. That doesn't matter. We'll figure all of this out. But I have, oh, look at this. Where's the other bit of it? I wouldn't mind keeping that trim too, just getting it sort of tidied up. The listings over there and so forth. It's beautiful. It's got its original trim. I actually really want to keep that. And I reckon I'll keep the headlining too. I'll just have to fix some of the panels. But that'll all sort of clean up alright, I reckon. And even the rear window seals can seal behind that trim. What a stunning car. God, I love these things. I'd have 10 of them if I could. Alright, I'll leave that. I wonder if the driver's side's got a mount, because I've taken the grommet out, but I can't remember. Just a minute. Let's have a look. The mirrors look beautiful. It's just such a... I don't know if ADRs are like those, but what's in... Oh, no mount. I reckon someone's looked at it, taken a few things out and decided it's too hard. And I can restore that wheel too. Damn. I'm so happy with this car. It's pillarless too. Can we open it? Oh, one of the doors doesn't open. Which one is it? Is it this one? Just a minute. Sometimes the hardest stuff to get. The windows work alright. Yeah, those rubbers are cactus too. That's not going to be any easy feat getting those. Look at that. What do you call that? A 4-door hardtop? Beautiful. Beautiful car. Got these. Should never have sold that 66. I had a white 66 390. Australian one, which was right-hand drive. I do like the dash on the American ones better though. But, oh, the ashtray. That's a massive ashtray. Oh, gee. Oh, good. Well, I've got some XA Falcons to get through first. But then I'm going to crack into this thing. So originally the Fairlane was going to come up here and live, but I'll leave it at the other place. It can stay there. And then when I finish these, I'll start swapping them, but it's going to be a few years before I finish this. They don't exactly work quickly. Another couple of Auto Technica car covers. I'm hoping this is extra large. They used to have rear written on them, so you knew which way it went. It'll keep the car okay over the winter, so I plan to have this garage all finished in time for summer, so that's when the cars will all come in. But I might in the meantime take things like window winders and ashtrays and stuff out of there, anything with chrome on it, on the off chance that there's moisture in there because it's been outside at the other place. I don't want anything pitting, even though some of it already has. But I figure doing it this way, where does it say rear? They used to say rear on them, so you knew which way it went. I figure that's probably the best course of action for it. So it's no surprise it fitted. I looked at the length, I googled the length of a 67 Galaxie and looked on Auto Technica's site. For value for money, they're the best covers, but you tend to get, it depends what your summers are like. If you get a really bad summer where it's 38, 40, 42, you only kind of get one summer out of them. Generally you get about 18 months. And then you got to take it off and there's a wet spot on the roof. And what happens is the UV eventually gets through them. You look at it, you can't see the cracks. You have to sort of hold it up to the light and get underneath it, and you can see tiny little cracks everywhere when they strip out. The other thing that kills them, which is what happened to the XD and the Sigma, is the cat gets on and they do this clawing thing. Then they're knackered, I went round with duct tape and sort of patched a few holes, but water still got in. But you'll get 18 months out of them, and after that they sort of fade and they feel a bit rigid when you take them off, and that's when you know they're toast. So that'll do for now. Next time I'm up here, I'll take some bits and pieces out of it. I might take those dress rings off the rims in case someone decides to nick them. Generally neighbours up here are brilliant for looking after or looking out for each other. And it's in good view of everyone too. So anyway, that's the Galaxie. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I've got to go to that wagon, and take the brake booster out. So this XA, the wagon, is another one that I'm really keen to tear into. It's going to be like the Fairlane. It's not going to be a fancy, sorry about the wind if you can hear it, not going to be a great paint job. Just going to be neat and tidy. That's all I'm sort of looking for. The sedan, on the other hand, that's a proper resto, so that's going to take a lot longer and be kind of less fun, because the standard, it's going to be a bit high. But so far as this is concerned, this car, I'm kind of looking forward to it, because it's mine. I can just be kind of rough and ready with it. Ooh. Not that rough, but just, I don't have to be pedantic about it. So Sigma, Fairlane, those sorts of cars. The XW and XC are better. The XC is the best I've done so far, but I'm aiming for the sedan, the XA sedan, to be better than that. Just because my brother's involved with it, I can't get that on. My brother's involved with it, and he works for a bloody restoration house. And it's, I can't just do dodgy stuff because they're all going to see it. And I feel bad. But all the best parts will go in the sedan. This will still look good, but all the best parts will go in the sedan. This car, though, the structure I'm not frightened of at all. I've got to replace the sills, the outer sills. The inner ones don't look too bad. And of course that bit of the torque box, which I've got the new replacement part. And I'm nervous about taking, because I've got to take the B pillar out too. I've got a couple of better B pillars for it. So that's major surgery. But once I've got, so the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to fix these. I'm going to fix that structure and the sill. There's a hole in the torque box on the other side and the floors and that sort of thing. But I'm not worried about that stuff, because particularly with the floor, because I can do the engine bay, which will be unaffected by it. The plenum's good in it, so I don't have to even undo any of that. Just the sides here. But once I've got those bits done, those few bits, then I'm going to put the engine in and make it so I can drive it. And then the other stuff can get done when I want to do it. Do you know what I mean? So you know, I'll do the structure first, that and the outer sill, and I'll do the B. Same on the other side, I'll do the B on the other side as well. A lot of work, mind you, but I want to do it that way. But as for the outriggers where the floor is and it's all bent up, that can come later. Yeah, and I'll be happy with that. I might fix up the tunnel too. So anywhere it's affected by welding, I'll do first before I put the engine in. But I'm almost at the stage where the engine's not far off, really. I've just got to make time and get some of these cars done. But out of courtesy for my brother, because he's bought an absolute ton of parts for that sedan, and I have too. I need to make a start on that. And I can't start on anything up here until this garage is extended, until that wall's out there. And of course we've got to do the slab first, and then I can hook into it. That'll be a bit more fun. I can rearrange everything the way I want to do it. Structure in the A's, the plenum, all that sort of stuff in this car is going to be done on the floor. Sills I'll do on the rotisserie. I'll weld some bracing in and that sort of thing. The back can be done on the floor as well, because it needs all, you know, back panels. Needs a lot of work, that car, but its history is just brilliant. Might even be better when the Fairlane's finished. I was just thinking about it, bringing one of them home, either this one or the sedan, because the only one there, I could do some work on the EJ, but I really want to get these 3 Fords done first. But that means when I'm at home, then at least I can, you know, do some work on one of them. The sedan's the preferred one because I need to get that done relatively quickly. Well, looking pretty good. The boost looks better than the sedan one. Bit of corrosion in there, of course, pretty mucky, and obviously the piston's seized. I think these ones you can just pull out. I think they're retained by the booster, I'm not sure, can't remember. But worth keeping. That's a PBR one. Is it a PBR one? I think it is. It's got the switch in it still. Yeah, it is. There it is there. I've just got a no-name one for the wagon off eBay, which will do it. But, you know, brother might want to put the PBR one in the sedan, get a recode, re-sleeved or whatever. Don't know. Managed to hang this the other day. It was quite awkward, really. A couple of blokes helped me, neighbours, fantastic people up here. I was actually able to help out one of them because they had trouble starting the car. But that's the main part of it done. So the rest of it's just cladding, and I'll arrange some concrete for the spring. But I'm happy with that. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. Not long now, before we can, once this door's on, then, and I've got the door painted, and the windows are in, I can start, you know, carpet and all this other stuff, and it'll look a lot more like a Fairlane should. Anyway, that's all for now. Take good care of yourselves, enjoy Classic, and I'll see you soon.